I urge you to relax in a place that's safe and quiet. No phones to interrupt you in the next 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to invite you to go to the beach and visit your inner child. You find yourself looking out over the ocean in the rosy tint of the sunrise coming above the water, painting the waves in a soft, mellow red glow. The rhythmic beat of the ocean as it hits the beach down below. The fresh, salt air as it blows into your face from the ocean. The damp dew grass under your feet that feels cool and refreshing. The sound of the sea oats around you. You know you've come to a safe place. A place that there's never been toxicity or pain here. To your left, you notice 10 steps. Those steps will take you somewhere back in your past, your young life. These stones have been here for ages, worn smooth by the wind, the rain, the sand, almost ageless. You place your foot on the first one and feel the cold, you feel the ages, you feel the years. As you make your way down to step 10, you will be somewhere in the past. And you begin your journey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you step off into the cool, silky sand. You know in your heart of hearts that you're somewhere where you should be, somewhere in the past, many years ago maybe. You feel it drawn in your spirit to go towards the water. As you tread across that silky soft sand, little crabs scurry away from you. You get closer to the waterfront, and as the waves come lapping up onto the beach, the little terns scurry out of your way, hunting breakfast in the sand. You notice in a distance as you reach the water's edge, a squadron of pelicans flying close in formation over the water. The sun is beginning to break over the water. The cool, wet sand feels refreshing to your feet as the water slowly laps up and over your feet, refreshing you with a morning greeting. You feel an urging to move down the beach, and so you begin to move, and the wet sand kind of sinks under your feet. The terns continue to skitter in front of you, the little sandpipers along with them, hunting food, digging their little bills into the sand. You notice a pod of porpoises playing in the surf not far off. This is a good day. There's a peace within. You continue to walk. It is not long until you notice somewhere in the distance a little figure playing tag with the waves, it seems. You feel an urgency to move in that direction, and you keep walking. The waves continue to wash your footprints off of the sand, continue to wash over your feet even, and continue to soothe, comfort, refresh your feet. As you approach this little figure, you begin to recognize it as a little boy or a little girl with a little pail in one hand and a big smile and some kind of treasure that they picked up off the beach. All of a sudden, the little child looks up and recognizes you and comes running up to you with the bucket held in front of her or him, wanting to show you their treasures. You bend the knee and get down on that child's level as this child babbles on about all the treasures and showing you one by one what they have in their little bucket. You know, as you look at this child, you know who this child is. It was you so many years ago. The child asks, "Would you play with me today? Would you stay and play?" You answer. And as the sun rises into the zenith of the sky, you all do all kinds of games together, picking up treasures, building sand castles, laughing, giggling, playing, like two children. The day continues to move along, and y'all have played all kinds of games and enjoyed yourself and almost exhausted yourself with all the fun and laughter. You've noticed that the sun is beginning to set. Your time is coming to an end, and somehow that little child notices the same thing. Over the course of the play, that child has gotten closer and closer to you, and at this moment you look up and those little eyes are looking straight at you. You know what that little child hungers to hear from some adult. Something they've never heard, maybe. And you begin to tell that little child the truths about him or her. The things he or she always longed to hear but never did. Tell her now. Tell him now. Tears begin to run down that little child's face. The child wraps her little arms around your neck and holds you tight, and you feel the wet cheeks against yours. Almost choked up. You tell this child they're lovable, they're special. Anything else that they need to hear, you tell them right now. Now your time is coming to an end. You need to leave. The little child looks up and says, "Will you continue to do your work? Will you continue to work recovery, continue the healing? Is there hope for us someday?" And you answer. And all of a sudden it dawns on you that you might leave this little child behind. And there's a voice that comes over your shoulder. Didn't even know anybody was there until all of a sudden this voice says, "I'll watch over this child with all my heart." And suddenly a nail-scarred hand reaches over your shoulder, invitingly asking the little child to put their hand in his. That voice says again, "I have been with this child all along, and I am with you today." As you stand and rise, the little child asks, "Will you please come back and play?" And you answer. The little child grabs up her or his little bucket, and hand in hand, her little hand or his little hand and that nail-scarred hand begins to tread off into the distance. You return to the steps, knowing that you want to come back, and all of a sudden you hear in the wind the little voice of that little child saying, "Will you come back? Will you come back and play with me?" And you answer. You begin your journey up the steps. When you get back to step 1, you will be back in your room, or wherever you're staying right now to do this exercise. We begin our journey back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Counts 1, 2, and let it out slowly through pursed lips. Notice how you feel. Notice how you sense about yourself. You're welcome to return and do this exercise over and over as many times as you like. I encourage you to journal any thoughts, feelings that came up through this exercise. If you clap your hands together twice just to tell yourself you're back in the room and no longer at the beach. All right, 1, 2. All right, good deal. Have a great day.